everyone, Sam here from Sugar Spun Run, and today I'll be showing you how to make an easy caprese salad. Today's caprese salad is incredibly simple to make. Yes, most of the recipe is just tossing together some shredded basil, chopped tomatoes, and mozzarella, but I think it might be helpful if I show you how to make the balsamic glaze. Now, we'll go through the whole recipe in this video, but let's start with the balsamic glaze. The first thing that you're going to need is 1 cup of balsamic vinegar. We're going to add this to a medium-sized saucepan. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey in with the vinegar. Now turn your stovetop heat to medium, and we're going to stir together the vinegar and the honey, and we're going to bring this mixture to a boil. If you are serving this caprese salad for a party, I really recommend that you make this glaze a day in advance. It's going to take about an hour for the glaze to thicken enough that you can pour it over your salad. It might even take a little bit longer, but the biggest reason is because your whole house is going to smell like vinegar, or at least your kitchen will. So you want to do this the day before you have guests over. That way they don't smell the same vinegar smell you're going to have to endure. Once your mixture comes to a boil, you can reduce the heat to low or medium-low, and you're going to let it continue to simmer until the mixture is reduced to about 1/3 cup. So it's going to be reduced to about 1/3 of its original volume. So the reason we're doing this rather than just pouring balsamic vinegar right onto our mozzarella and tomato and basil is because this is going to really concentrate that balsamic vinegar. You're going to have a very rich, concentrated flavor, and it's going to be like a thick glaze rather than a watery vinegar. So right about now, our glaze is looking perfect. It's nicely thickened, it's very much reduced. So we're going to remove it from heat, and we're going to set it somewhere to cool. I actually like to pour mine out of the saucepan and into a heat-proof container. In this instance, I'm just going to pour it into a measuring cup. Now you'll want to let your glaze cool completely before you pour it over your caprese salad. Once it's cooled, we can go ahead and toss everything together for our salad. The first thing you're going to need is 2 pints of cherry or grape tomatoes. We're going to go ahead and slice these in half. Now, if you have really small tomatoes, you don't have to cut them in half. This is actually optional. I just like to do it because it makes the whole salad nice and bite-sized, which is what I love about this caprese salad. Now we can add our tomatoes to a large serving bowl. The next thing our salad needs is mozzarella. Now, if you can get your hands on it, I definitely recommend grabbing mozzarella pearls, which is what I'm using today. It's just small little balls of mozzarella. You're going to want to drain them and pat them dry before you add them to your salad. Now, I can't always find the pearls. To look for them, you'll want to look in the specialty cheese section of your grocery store if it has one. If you can't find the little balls, little pearls like this, then you can just buy a giant piece of mozzarella and cut it up into pieces, or sometimes I can even get the balls that are like this big, and I'll cut them into thirds or quarters. The next ingredient we're going to need for our caprese salad is fresh basil leaves. So I just picked these off my plant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them into ribbons. So I'm just going to take a few leaves here, just kind of roll them up a little bit. My knife's not very sharp, so I'm going to have to go back over a few of them and cut them into smaller pieces. You don't want giant leaves of basil in your caprese salad. You just want small pieces that are going to accent the flavor of your salad. You'll want to cut your leaves until you have about a 1/3 heaping cup of shredded basil. And once you do, we can add these to your salad. Now let's add some finely ground sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Now let's toss everything together until all of our ingredients are nicely combined. Now all that's left to do before serving is to add our balsamic glaze. Now once it's cooled completely, it should be nice and thick and great for pouring over your caprese salad. Now do not add the balsamic glaze until just before you are ready to serve your salad. Now, unlike with most salads, I don't like to toss everything together before serving this one. I think it takes away from the appearance. What I like to do is, as you just saw, I poured about half of this balsamic glaze over the salad. I'll serve it this way, and then I'll leave the extra glaze on the side so that if anybody wants more, they'll have a little bit more to drizzle over their salad. That's just a personal preference. If you want to toss everything together, that's completely fine. And that is really all there is to making caprese salad at home. I really hope you guys enjoyed this really ridiculously simple recipe, and if you try it out, I would love to know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. There's so much flavor in this. It's so good. Hey, if you guys enjoyed today's caprese salad recipe video, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, if you enjoyed today's recipe, here are a few others you might like as well.